All right, guys. Before I play the intro music, I've waited a long time to say this, but we back. We going back to our regularly scheduled programs. We doing one a week, maybe more. You never know. I finally got the new setup, kind of the way I want it. We're getting there. It's not really like completed yet, but it'll definitely be what I want it to be relatively soon. So I'm gonna lean down, I'm gonna click this button, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna lean back down, click the button, and then we on. Let's do it. And in 3, 2, 1. All right, we leaning down, and we are live. Let's do this. We're gonna start off today with the NFL because that's what I like to start off on. That's the GOAT, that's the best sport in the world. Football. We had the Hall of Fame game happen on Thursday between Pittsburgh and Dallas. Oh, I haven't done this in so long, I forgot. We're filming on Saturday, August 7th at 10:46 a.m. Don't worry, guys. I got my morning beer. Now, let's kick into the NFL. Hall of Fame game, Pittsburgh versus Dallas. Here are my takeaways from the game. Najee Harris should be one of the front runners to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he was clearly the best running back on the board. I used to be on the Travis Etienne hype train. Don't get me wrong. I still think Travis Etienne is going to make waves in Jacksonville. But I think that Najee Harris will significantly improve the Pittsburgh offense through the run game and the pass game. I think he is a monster. I think he's kind of like eventually going to turn into that like Derrick Henry type guy for Pittsburgh. I won't say he's as good as Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry relies on his size and he's a lot bigger than Najee Harris, but he's going to have that same impact on the run game as a Derrick Henry, where teams are more worried about up the middle than down the sideline, and that's going to open up the pass game a lot more. There is no clear number 2 for the Pittsburgh or Dallas QB2 spot. Like there's no clear winner for the backup quarterback spots on either team. I think Dwayne Haskins would clearly be the number 2 behind Ben Roethlisberger, but Josh Dobbs played great. And I think Pittsburgh is still kind of confused on where the number 2 spot holds. Haskins definitely has to get his shit together to be the number 2 quarterback, because if you can't be a backup when you're supposed to be a backup, you definitely can't be a starter when you're supposed to be a starter. You know what I mean? Hall of Fame inductees. Let's just start off with some notable ones. We got Calvin Johnson, wide receiver for the Detroit Lions. That guy, I have never seen a receiver in my lifetime get double teamed at the line of scrimmage. Like at the line of scrimmage, there's 2 cornerbacks and their sole purpose is to guard Megatron. I've never seen it. This is clearly like a perfect first ballot. Like he didn't win any rings, never made it to the playoffs, was a part of the worst team in NFL history, but you cannot take away his individual dominance of the game of football, which I feel like what the Hall of Fame is supposed to display. After that, you got John Lynch, safety, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He also played for the Broncos. Right now, he's the GM for the 49ers. John Lynch was one hell of a safety. He definitely deserves to be here, and I think after he's done being a general manager, he'll get inducted again into the Hall as a general manager, because I think he's going to do something great with this 49ers team eventually. Peyton Manning, quarterback, Indianapolis Colts, Denver Broncos. For people who know, Peyton Manning is my favorite player, and for people who don't know, you just found out Peyton Manning is my favorite player. I'm kind of like, I kind of don't want to watch the Hall of Fame speech like right away. Kind of want to wait a week to watch it, just because I know like I'm gonna be emotional, especially after this next one. Charles Woodson, safety, DB, he played for the Raiders and the Packers, won a Super Bowl with the Packers, has a Defensive Player of the Year to his name, and he is the last defensive player to win the Heisman, and he did that at Michigan, which is my favorite team. Absolutely. Where's my Michigan? Yep, there you go. It's my favorite team. I love Charles Woodson. That is my favorite player on defense. Like, if you ask me at any point in my life, who's your favorite player on offensive defense, you would have gotten these 2 people, these 2 names, and the fact that they're going to be celebrated and inducted into the Hall on the same day, and about part of the same class, means a lot to me. I'm starting to get emotional. Anyway, all right, cool. And NFL starts preseason August 14th, I think the Dolphins play their first game. So we still got about a month. I think I think September 12th is going to be the first week of the regular season. That's awesome. So we're definitely going to be diving into the NFL a lot and a lot and a lot. But into the NBA, we got a draft recap / reaction. I'm just going to give you my notable. I'm going to give you the first three, then I'm going to give you the notable ones. I'm going to give you my little takes on where the cards fell and where teams have the biggest improvements. The first three, Detroit drafted Cade Cunningham over Jalen Green and Evan Mobley. I think 6'8" point guard that can score the ball at will. I think he's going to be great. I think he's up to the challenge of being the number one pick and coming to a franchise who hasn't had anything good happen to them in over 15 years. At 2, Houston selected Jalen Green, shooting guard. Now the Rockets have like a Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. Backcourt, and I think that's going to be deadly. I don't know about on defense, but on offense, those two players are going to account for, in their first season playing together, they're going to combine. They're going to be 40-point a game. Like they're gonna be able to score as much as they want. And at 3, Cleveland selects Evan Mobley, 7-footer out of USC, can block. He's like if Kevin Garnett played center. Like he can score the ball in the post. He has a little bit of a jumper on him, but he plays solid center defense with that long wingspan and just the height. He's very athletic for a 7-footer. He moves laterally very well. I think Cleveland definitely got it. Like I think in any draft that if they aren't together, they're each number one pick. So I feel like everybody in the top 3 won on draft night. Here's just some interesting picks. Orlando picked Jalen Suggs at 5. I think Jalen Suggs is going to be a hero for Orlando. I think he's going to sign multiple max extensions. He's probably going to be there his whole career, and they're going to end up, because if you look at their core right now, I think their average age is like 23 and a half maybe. Like they're super young, so they have at least 5 years to develop all these guys before they're all in their prime. And then if you can keep them happy, I don't see why the Orlando Magic couldn't be a powerhouse in 10 years. You know what I mean? After that, we have OKC. They drafted Josh Giddey at 6. Josh Giddey's a shooting guard from Australia. Both parents played Australian pro basketball. I don't know much about the kid, but I thought it was super interesting because OKC has 74,000 draft picks in the next couple of years. Golden State selected Jonathan Kuminga at 7 and Moses Moody at 14. So they got that G League superstar, which was Jalen Green's running mate, and Jonathan Kuminga. He definitely has some offensive inconsistencies that we would like to see kind of worked on. But, you know, he's going to one of the best offensive teams in the league in Golden State. So, you know, I'm assuming Steve Kerr and Steph Curry are going to have a field day with that athletic specimen. Moses Moody, that's just a dog. Like, Moses Moody is just a dog. You ain't stopping Moses. Moses he's like that energy. Like no matter what happens in the game, he's always gonna be there in your face, 110%. And I think that's good for the Golden State Warriors, who are getting a little older in age, to have that young guy come in and spark energy throughout the team. I think that's gonna be great, especially leading on into the future, because you know Curry just signed a 4-year extension that we will get into. We will get into. You can have any brew you want, as long as it's a Corona. Anyway, then Detroit, my favorite team. This isn't really like, it's an interesting pick. They drafted Luke Garza, big man out of Iowa. He was actually like a really, like, in college, he was the man. Like, he's like a Christian Laettner type guy. You know, like in college, he's the man, and then gets to the NBA, and everybody thinks lowly of him because, you know, the game's not really going to translate. Didn't for Laettner. I don't know if it's going to for Luke Garza, but I thought that was a really interesting second-round pick by Detroit to pick up that big man out of Iowa. And then my last interesting pick, OKC, Trey Mann at 18. I think that guy is definitely worth better than the 18th pick. He's going to be a stud. I think OKC got definitely a good core. They just signed Shai Gilgeous to that fire 5-year extension, which we will get into right now. Awesome. Let's go free agency tracker for the NBA. We got the Hawks. The Hawks signed Trae Young, 5 years, $207 million max contract extension. Awesome. John Collins signed a 5-year, $125 million extension. That's even awesomer. And Lou Will's returning on a 1-year, $5 million deal. Lou Will has yet still to be paid $10 million for an NBA season, and I think that's tragic. I think that's pretty tragic. And all right, Boston signed Ennis Cantor to a 1-year, $2.7 million deal. Think that's good. Brooklyn signed Patty Mills, 2 years, $12 million. That's good. They definitely need bench help. So Patty Mills is going to be that spark off the bench. Very respected NBA veteran. Brooklyn also inked KD to a 4-year, $198 million contract extension. That is awesome. They also got Blake Griffin, 1-year contract for, I don't know yet. Nobody's reported the amount of money. As far as my knowledge, I did these notes last night, so shit could have changed overnight. I'm sorry. Now into Chicago. Chicago got a massive haul. Chicago signed Lonzo Ball, 4-year, $85 million deal. I think that is the best value contract in free agency right now. Like 4 years, $85 million, and Lonzo's still developing. He's still a promise. Like he's still a solid player. And you're just putting him around shooters and athletes, which is exactly what he needs because he's a pass-first guy. Like, there we go. Chicago's going to do something. Chicago also signed Alex Caruso to a 4-year, $37 million deal. So we got the Lake Boys in Chicago. That's good. I love to see when old teammates come back together. And to top it off, DeMar DeRozan with Chicago signs a 3-year, $85 million deal. So we're going to pair DeMar DeRozan with Zach LaVine. I think that bench for Chicago is going to be absolutely nasty. It's going to take a lot of pressure off the starters. It's going to take a lot of pressure off these superstars getting paid a lot of money. Golden State Warriors inked Stephen Curry to a 4-year, $215 million deal, meaning he will be making over $53.5 million every year he plays basketball with the Golden State Warriors for the next 4 years. And here we go. The Los Angeles Lakers, they got a huge haul. Carmelo Anthony, 1-year deal for $2 million. Dwight Howard, 1-year deal for the vet minimum. Trevor Ariza, 1-year deal, vet minimum. Malik Monk, 1-year deal, vet minimum. Kent Bazemore, 1-year deal, $2 million. Wayne Ellington, 1-year, vet minimum. Kendrick Nunn, 2-year, $10 million contract. And then they signed Talen Horton-Tucker, the 20-year-old superstar, not really, but the 20-year-old guard who's very high on everybody in the league right now. He signed a 3-year, $32 million deal to stay with the Lakers. But the big daddy, Kyle Kuzma's gone. KCP's gone. Montrezl Harrell's gone. Because we got Russell Westbrook from the Washington Wizards via trade. And that means that the Lakers now have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, Malik Monk, Wayne Ellington, Kent Bazemore, Kendrick Nunn, and Talen Horton-Tucker. Good luck next year, NBA. And we go to Miami. Miami inked Kyle Lowry via sign and trade, 3 years, $90 million. Jimmy Butler, 4 years, $184 million. I lied. No, I didn't lie. That's really what I wrote down. Holy shit. Good job, Jimmy. Get your bag. All right, Duncan Robinson, 5-year, $90 million contract. That's solid for a specialist like him. PJ Tucker, 2 years, $15 million. Victor Oladipo, 1-year vet minimum. Markieff Morris, 1-year vet minimum. I think Miami has a good chance at winning the East next year, or in the next couple years, if we're being 100% serious. Milwaukee re-signed Bobby Portis, 2-year, $9 million deal. I think that's great value for him. New Orleans Pelicans, Devontae Graham, 4 years, $47 million. That is a fucking steal. Holy moly, I just cursed. I don't know if I've been cursing, but this is supposed to be a family-friendly program. I kind of liked it, though. Whatever, we'll figure it out. New York Knicks, they got a big haul. They got Julius Randle, 4-year, $117 million contract extension. That is awesome for him and the organization. Kemba Walker has been bought out by the Oklahoma City Thunder. He will be returning to the New York Knicks. Contract is to be announced, but that is the reports. Kemba Walker is going back home. Evan Fournier inked a 4-year deal. I don't know how much, but it's a 4-year deal. Derrick Rose inked a 3-year deal, and Nerlens Noel also inked a 3-year deal. The Oklahoma City Thunder, like I said earlier, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 5 years, $172 million. I like it. Philadelphia, they signed Danny Green to 2 years, $20 million, so he's going back to Philly. And then they signed Andre Drummond, 1 year for the vet minimum. I cannot believe Andre Drummond is a Sixer. you know, as a Pistons fan, it kind of makes me really happy that he's a Sixer. Yeah, he deserves getting bounced in the second round for next year at least. Phoenix inks Chris Paul to a 4-year, $120 million deal. That is awesome for both parties involved. Chris Paul is going to play until he's 40, and he's going to get that bag. And Phoenix is going to get that leadership and the player development that's brought with Chris Paul over the next 4 years, along with Booker and Ayton and Cameron Payne, who inked a 3-year, $19 million extension with Phoenix. I think that's awesome. Utah signed Mike Conley to a 3-year, $68 million deal to return. They signed Rudy Gay to a 2-year, $12 million deal, and they signed Hassan Whiteside with all right, y'all, ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know what happened, but the video got cut off. I finished the entire episode just to realize that I wasn't recording for a while. You know, stuff happens though. You know, we got the iPhone 12 Pro Max automatically equipped with Apple iMovie, so we could definitely edit this stuff. I don't like editing though, so it kind of takes away from the vibe. Like, I want it to be one complete take. Don't think that I just edited something out. Like, I literally just got cut off in the middle of saying Hassan Whiteside. But back to NBA free agency. Utah signed Hassan Whiteside, contract undisclosed yet, but he is going to be on the Jazz. And then Washington has Spencer Dinwiddie, 3 years, $62 million deal. That is going to be one really fun team to watch because now they have Kuzma, Beal, and Dinwiddie. I don't know if they're going to win a lot of games, but they're definitely going to be entertaining to watch. And on to the UFC. This weekend, today, we got UFC 265, Lewis versus Gane. In the prelims, we got Jessica Penne versus Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I believe mid 2010s, this fight was definitely a boot knocker. You know what I mean? Like, but now, both of them on the tail ends of their careers. I'm going to give it to the grappler. I'm going to pick Jessica Penne, probably by decision, over Karolina. Next fight, Alonzo Menifield versus Ed Herman. Ed Herman was on the season of Tough where Tito Ortiz and Ken Shamrock were coaches. That's how long ago this man was on The Ultimate Fighter. And he's in the UFC again, fighting Alonzo Menifield. And I think this is going to be an absolute slugfest. It's going to be a brawl. And I got Alonzo. I'm picking Alonzo, probably 3rd round TKO, and these guys are just absolutely exhausted. All right, Vince Morales versus Draco Rodriguez. Both of these guys like to come and scrap. Draco hits a little harder. Even though Vince is more technically sound, I think that Vince probably can't put Draco down in the same way Draco can put Vince down. And I think Draco's going to land early, probably. Last fight on the prelims, we got Bobby Green versus Rafael Fiziev. I'm going to go Rafael Fiziev. He just came off the best knockout of his career over Renato Moicano. And now he's fighting a great dude in Bobby Green to definitely, test yourself with, the upper echelon of 155. Bobby Green is definitely a solid gatekeeper. But I don't think he's anything more than a gatekeeper. I love Bobby Green. I love the way he fights. I love the way that he talks shit. But he's just a gatekeeper. And, no disrespect. There's been legendary gatekeepers. One day, people are going to talk about how people had to go through Bobby Green in order to, become champ. And that's going to be cool. But that is exactly what happens to Bobby Green. He doesn't have what it takes to take that next step up. And as heartbreaking as that is for me, because I love Bobby Green, but that's just what it is. It's a fact of the situation. Not really. It's my opinion of the situation. But I'm going to pick Rafael Fiziev probably by decision. But these guys is going to come to crap for sure. All right. Main card, Song Yadong versus Casey Kenny. Both of these guys are going to put up a great pace. This is going to be a really fun fight, but I got Song Yadong probably by 2nd round TKO. Tisha Torres versus Angela Hill. They were on the inaugural season, not the inaugural season. They were on the first season of the 155-pound women's division of Tough when they brought the whole division into the UFC. They were both competitors on there. And back in the day, I would have definitely taken Tisha Torres easy, but with the way Angela Hill has kept her octagon time up recently, she's always trying to get in the cage, always trying to fight as much as possible. I'm gonna go Angela Hill just because she has that want right now. You know, she feels like her career is on the up and up, and I believe it is too. And Tisha Torres is stagnating, so I'm gonna go Angela Hill in this one by decision. Michael Chiesa versus Vicente Luque. This is a really good one. I saw something on Instagram today by Brawler Bible. Go follow Brawler Bible if you're interested in UFC stuff like that. He posts awesome photography of different MMA cards. And he's just a great Instagram page to follow if you like good MMA content. He said that this one is a title eliminator almost, even though these guys aren't highly ranked, and it's not going to be like who wins this fight is going to get the title. It's more like, he put it this way: if you can't strike with Vicente, you're not going to be able to strike with Usman. And if you can't grapple with Chiesa, you're not going to be able to grapple with Usman. So it's basically like these guys saying that if I can't get past you, I'm definitely not going to be able to get to Usman. So I feel like one of these guys is definitely going to have a harsh reality and they're going to fall off. And that's going to make me so sad because I love both of these men. I think they're both great fighters. But I got Vicente. Man. I think his toughness is just going to come through in spades. Although these guys are tough, I think Vicente can take massive amounts of punishment and keep walking forward, as Michael has had the tendency to shoot and shell up sometimes. That's just my theory on this fight. I think it's going to be a great fight to watch, though. Jose Aldo versus Pedro Munoz. I got Pedro Munoz, you know. Jose Aldo's a legend. Dropped down from 145 to 135. He's now working with a nutritionist for the first time in his career. He said making the weight is easy. But Pedro Munoz, I feel like, is a more natural 135er. I feel like he is built for the weight class. I feel like he's not going to lose anything in rounds 2 and 3, but Jose might. And I feel like Pedro is just going to put that pace on him that kind of like Holloway put on Jose. And Jose is just not built for that type of high-paced fight. You know what I mean? He's an explosion fighter. Pedro's a fighter. Like, Pedro's a pace fighter. And, yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Pedro Munoz probably by decision. Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane, the heaviest main event. I'm kidding. But, like, heavyweight interim title main event. Cyril Gane, DC had a great point. We've never seen anybody like Cyril Gane because he can move real fast in and out. He can pick you apart from the outside. He doesn't have horrible grappling, so there's not like there's a real weakness to his game. And he's a giant athletic dude. But Derek Lewis getting up from a takedown is him bench pressing the guy off of him. So we're talking about a super athletic dude in Cyril Gane versus an absolute human freak of nature in Derek Lewis. And I don't think this fight makes it 5 minutes. I think this fight is over in the first round. And I think Derek Lewis will catch him. And I think Derek Lewis will put his lights out. And, yeah, that's it, man. That's the end of the episode. I'm super, super, super happy to be back doing this. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon. Peace. Hey.